Hello, good afternoon. We are here live, okay? We are live now. We want to get started. Let me get started. We are here live. Let's get right into it. How are you? How are you feeling? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'm trying to let people know that we're live. We are live now. Answering questions, first of all. Yeah, I'm trying to put the link in my IG story. Okay, give me one moment to put the link so people know that we are live. Okay, how are you? Yeah, I was putting my link in my IG so that people will know that I'm live so they can get into it. Let me put on my WhatsApp as well, okay? Give me one moment. By the way, if you have a question, just please put it in the comment because we're here to discuss the latest immigration news, and then we're going to answer questions. Whichever comes first. If you have a question, just put it in the comment so we can answer it. Meanwhile, I'm sharing my link. Since you don't want to share, I have to share my own links, okay? So let me share my links on my WhatsApp and on my let me share my link on my social media. Besides okay, let's get right into it. What's going on with the latest immigration news? The first good news we have is that ICE is restoring student visas, especially those student visa that were just terminated with no specific reasons. They're restoring those visas. That's a good news, okay? Let me share my screen so I can show you exactly what I mean by that. Yeah, they needed to do that because it's like they needed to do that because you can't just terminate visa without you can't just terminate visa just like that without proper notice, without the person knowing what exactly they did. You can't just like terminate visas. It's like, okay. Let's see the news. Let's see the news. I want to read it so you will know. Latest immigration news. Yeah. So basically, ICE has issued a notice restoring visas. Why? Because they just stopped terminated visa for some students, a lot of students actually. Now they're restoring those visas, and they're trying to find a way to come up with a policy that will allow them to terminate those student visa. Not the way they did, because the way they did was like not the way they're supposed to do. That's why a lot of people went to court to sue this administration, and finally they are restoring those visas. Okay, you'll be receiving letters saying that your visa has been restored if you are among those students. Okay, let's take questions. before we jump to the next news, let me take a question here. How long? I don't know. How long it's taking for green card? Some green cards application, at least here in Baltimore, it's between 1 year to 2 years. Yeah. You at this point, you just wait. How long is going to take USDA to approve I-30 for under 21 child? Yeah, again, I don't know. Here in Baltimore, I give it a full year at least, between 1 year to within 1 year to 2 years. If you go on my post on YouTube, you'll see the latest approvals of I-130s. The ranges are from 11 months to 2 years and 3 months. So it just depends. Each center has their own timing. Yeah, you can also reach out to them to find out what is their processing time. Yeah, it's just depends. I got a I-130. Think I should try? Why now? Nobody's traveling. That's your decision. Because right now nobody's traveling because they're afraid to be placed back in detention. You know what I mean? Or maybe not in detention, deny entry for unlawful presence. You know what I mean? Because first of all, advance parole is not a guarantee to come back. Under Biden, they didn't really mind people going and coming back, but under this current administration, advance parole, just forget it. Just wait for your green card. Yeah, unless you go, if they deny you entry, what's gonna happen is you're gonna stay outside, and your green card application will be deemed abandoned, and then you're gonna start over with transferring the VAWA petition approval to your embassy, and then waiting there to get a visa interview from outside. That's what is gonna happen if they deny you entry. So it's just now up to you to decide. Yeah, up to you to decide. Okay. Yeah, that's your choice. Yeah, that's the choice you have to make yourself. I cannot advise somebody at this moment to travel on advance parole, because a lot of people, we're hearing noise, a lot of news that people are being denied entry. So if you decide to travel, I mean, that's your choice. You can always do that, but just know that if they deny you entry, what are you going to do? What you're gonna do is you're gonna file the form I-864 to transfer your VAWA approval to your embassy, and then once it's transferred there, then you're gonna wait for processing time for them to call you for the interview. You know what I mean? You know how when you transfer the case to the embassy, they give you a case in the system. Then you're gonna upload your application and stuff like that in the system, fill out the forms in the system, the DS-260 in the system, everything. Then you wait for the interview date. Then you do your interview outside. That's what's gonna happen if you, by mistake or by just choice, they deny you entry. So the choice is yours. Okay. My cousin waiting for this TPS hearing. I was wondering while he waiting can travel from New Zealand to Florida without any problem. Yeah, if he has a valid because remember in May, in order to travel, you have to have like if you don't have your valid passport from your country, you have to have like a real ID. Remember May 7, real ID, the way you travel by airplane, real ID, unless you're taking the car. If you're driving, that's no problem. With the driver license, the person can travel. they can drive, right, from their state to another state. But if they're traveling by airplane starting May 7th, real ID, you have to have a federal ID unless you have your valid the lightning. I'm trying to fix the lightning here. Unless you have your valid passport from your country, okay? Okay. Yeah, we already answered this one. Do I have to go with my mom to her green card interview in New York? You need to look at the interview letter. It tells you exactly who are supposed to be there on the interview. If you're filing based on, if your mom filed based on you filing for her, then you have to be there because you're the petitioner. In any way, in any case, you have to look at her interview letter, and it tells you exactly who are supposed to be there at the interview. Okay. Yeah, I think this lightning. Let me let me try to fix it again. Jeez, I feel like it's too dark, too bright. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Yeah, so the first news is that visa has been restored for certain international students. ICE decided to restore their status, okay? But what they're saying is that they're going to come up with a policy that will allow them to terminate those status in a correct way, because they have to double check again who has failed to maintain legal status in terms of students. And the way they went about it, really, to be honest with you, we were concerned, like, you can't just terminate a student visa when the person is actually a student and actually going to school. It's like they were just like terminating visas just for no reasons. And because they were faced with a lot of if the person was faced with a lot of how do you say it, violations, that's when you can terminate their student visa. But without violation, you can't just terminate their student visa. That's why they were faced with a lot of lawsuits. That's what I meant to say. That's why they got really, like, they restored their visa, because a lot of lawsuit. Okay. Okay, the letter didn't specify who to come with her. That's why I'm confused. Again, if your mom is filing the green card was based on you, the child, US child filing for her, then you have to be there because you are the petitioner, okay? Including your mom. So if she filed based on marriage, then her husband has to be there. So yeah, that's just that, okay? I've been waiting for I-130 about a year and a half. Now still don't get an answer. Should I be no? Why would you be worried? Those cases are taking forever. Yeah. So you should just reach out to them and ask them what is your current processing time. They'll let you know. Then you'll see if it's past processing time. Then you submit the online inquiry. That's just what you do. Yeah, so you submit inquiry online, and if denied, how long take for consular process? If denied entry, first of all, you have to file the form I-864 for the case to be transferred. I don't know how long it's going to take. You just look online, processing time for form I-864 for the case, your case to be transferred to consular processing. Once it's transferred to consular processing, then you will have an account online where you're going to do all the paperwork online. And when you become documentary qualified, all the paperwork are done. Then you start waiting for the interview. How long? I don't know. What I can say, for example, I can give you a specific example for Nigeria. The the case was documentary qualified on April, I believe April 6, 2023, and we just received like 2 years later, right? We received a interview letter, and my client's interview is going to be in June, actually, June 30th. Okay, 2 years, approximately 2 years and 2 months. Okay, so how long? That depends. Each council, yeah, that first of all depends on how long it's going to take for you to transfer the case from here to there. Yeah. Yeah, if they send it, yeah, you should transfer it. You're the one who's supposed to transfer, not them. You file the form 8. I mean, you're supposed to file a form basically, and then they will transfer it. You file the form I-864. So, and then it goes to your embassy. Then you fill out the paperwork. Then you wait. How long? I don't know. With my latest client again, in Nigeria, said that they said 2 years. He waited 2 years after it was documentary qualified. So he waited 2 years before from 2023 to now. So now the choice is yours. You can go home, and try to come back. If you come back, fine. If you don't come back, then you have a long time to wait in terms of yeah. So probably 2 years, 3 years, it depends. Sad time. Yes, this is really bad with those canceling visas for no reasons. You're welcome. So we talked about the first news. The second news, I want to talk about the second news now. I got sidetracked with those questions. What was the second news? Okay. There are a lot of, not a lot, but at least when people go to those hearings, ICE is trying to detain. Let's say you go to a hearing, your order removed, ICE is detaining people. Even those who are not order removed, some report came that ICE is reporting a lot of people detaining with the purpose to deport. So that's another news I saw. What else? Yeah, they just arrested a judge in Milwaukee for they're accusing the judge of helping a man to evade immigration agents. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so we are still those are uncertain times, and yeah, but if you have a case, you have a case, you fight for it. That's just that. um yeah, then we have another news is that the judge blocked Trump from withholding funds from 16 sanctuary cities and counties. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can share the screen. Let me just share my screen so I can go over it. Excuse me. Okay. So let me just share my screen, okay? So you know what we're talking about here. Okay. For example, here we have this is immigration news, okay, from today. Um, the judge blocks Trump from withholding funds from 16 sanctuary cities, okay? I guess they went to court. Remember the sanctuary cities where those are the cities where the state is not collaborating with federal government to facilitate a deportation. Basically, the state is not gonna send their police to help ICE detain and deport. Those are the cities that we call sanctuary cities. So, and then because of that, the Trump administration withheld funds because they say if you're not going to collaborate with immigration agencies, your city is not going to get funding. But those cities, I guess, went to court, and the federal judge blocked on Thursday. Okay, from withholding federal funding from several so-called sanctuary jurisdictions that have declined to cooperate with Republicans. Okay. So they basically stopped the Trump administration in their efforts to withhold funds. That that's huge. Um, then we have another case. Lawyers warn clients of increased arrest risk at immigration check-ins. So this is what I was talking about. There are a lot of reports where when people go to check in with ICE, they get detained even though they don't have criminal records, but because they're under order of supervision with prior removal order, yeah, the person gets detained. Even the people who are going to court for regular problems that has nothing to do with immigration, but because they happen to have prior removal order or something like that. Yeah, and another person got detained because the judge dismissed their case. It's because now they have no status, right? So I guess that's why they deported them. Back in the day, if they dismiss your case, you're good because you're no longer in removal. But if they come to for you, you're no longer in removal, but you have no status either. So which is really bad. But back in the day was good. It says here under the Biden administration, immigrants like Joshua without a criminal record used to be a low priority for arrest and deportation. But now lawyers say they are seeing more and on the spot arrest at immigration hearings. Okay. So you just have to be aware that you might go and not come back when you go to your hearing. It's happening again. Under Obama, it was happening like that. But yeah, it's happening again. Okay. What else? Trump cuts leaves thousands of kids to face immigration courts alone because of the cut of fundings. Yeah, this one, the judge is accused of helping a man evade immigration agent and is arrested. They arrested the judge. I don't know what's happening with that. I guess the judge was trying to. Yeah, this is the judge who got arrested. That's crazy. The FBI on Friday arrested the Milwaukee judge accused of helping a man evade immigration authorities, escalating a clash between the Trump administration and local authorities over a Republican president, sweeping immigration crackdown. Is accused of escorting the man and his lawyer out of the courtroom to the jury door last week after learning that immigration authorities were seeking his arrest. So basically, they're accusing the judge of letting the guy leave from the back door because the immigration agents were outside waiting for him to get out so they can arrest him. So the man was taken in custody outside the courtroom after agent chased him on foot, like they chased him down. Wow, this is crazy. Oh, I can't believe it. Wow. Yeah, President Trump administration has accused state and local officials of interfering with his criminal immigration enforcement priority. So basically, yeah, so we are living under a certain time, uncharted territory. So I'm gonna stop here, but those are the news. Um, but there's always a news and the other news, mass deportation is still going on. Okay, but if you have a case, you have a case. You should fight for it. That's bottom of line. If you have a case, you have a case. You're not gonna not do your case because of this or that. If you have a case, you have a case. My incoming master hearing is internet based, which is good, right? Because nowadays, it's bad to just go there. It's like you're expecting something else is coming for you without you even, yeah. So it's better. Peace on earth, you came back again with the same question. If the crime has been, if the waiver has been approved, they already, if they approve the waiver, they give you the green card. That's it. The person is no longer deportable because the waiver was approved. So I don't understand. You always come with the same questions that we already answer you. If they don't approve the, if they don't approve the the waiver, then the person will find themselves in removal proceedings. Because if they don't approve the waiver, then the green card will not be approved either. So yeah, so if the waiver is approved, that's why the person has a green card, because the waiver was approved. So why would the person find themselves again in removal unless they commit another crime or they went out by the time they're coming, because now they're looking at old charges. You know what I mean? Is any processing of work permit any hello is any processing work for, yeah, work permits are still being processed. Yeah, work permits are still being processed. Okay, work permit, yes, work permit are still being processed. That's the answer. Confused is an administrative. Yeah, I don't see why you're confused. If the waiver is approved, they give you a green card. That's it. If it doesn't, the waiver doesn't get approved, you find yourself in removal. That's it. Thank you. You're welcome. Peace on earth. you, you're always thinking about, like, yeah, the person is inadmissible It's basically if they're trying to give the person the green card or the person is trying to enter the United States. That's when inadmissibility issues are raised. Okay. So a person is deportable because they no longer have a valid status, they have to leave the country. That's when deportability issues come into play. So, or they committed a crime, so they have to leave the country. Yeah, please like, please share. Okay. By the way, please like, please share as we're answering questions. I guess we're done with latest immigration news. By the way, the Trump administration is going to hear arguments on the birthright citizenship um, next month, okay? On the 15th. Yeah, so that's what's going on. What happens if a person loses the spouse before the I-130 is approved? Never came across this issue, but I think that a person will apply as a widow, I-360, using the form I-360 widow. That's what I think the person will do, or as long as they can prove that they were in a valid bona fide marriage, I believe. Yeah, that's the petition for widow. I think never came across that issue. Widow. Yeah, I think so. Let's see here, widow. The widow of a U.S. citizen. Yeah, I think so. Widow of a U.S. citizen. Yeah, you will try to file the widow petition because of you have to look into widow petition, which is the form I-360. That's what you'll be looking into. But I guess you still have to prove that you were in a valid marriage and you didn't get remarried after the person passed away. There's certain conditions that have to be met in order to do that. Come. Yeah, what else we have here? I guess this is it for today. We don't have a lot of questions here. Wow, this is crazy. It's going crazy with yeah. So this is it, right? So meanwhile, if you need a consultation, just go ahead and schedule it so we can work on your case, specific case. Until next time, bye bye.